Hello, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Financial Fraud Fridays. My name is Nike Togba, and I am the owner of Togba and Associates, a tax and accounting firm focused on small business owners and entrepreneurs. We help them solve their tax problems so that they can focus on what they do best. And this is my good friend, Kerrina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kerrina O'Connor, the owner and founder of Cake Financial, where we help six-figure solopreneurs through those solopreneurs who have tax problems through strategy, not shame. So we are a South Florida-based virtual firm, but we help nationwide. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Nikkei to get into this week's episode.
Okay, y'all. We are talking about Mr. Beautiful Girl. Okay, Sean, let me not. Let me not. Sean Kingston. Okay, so just when was this? This was like a week ago, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was a few days.
Okay, so he was sentenced. And so Sean Kingston has been sentenced to 3.5 years in federal prison. Okay. His mother was previously sentenced to 5 years in prison. She was found guilty of fraud and grand theft. And basically, what they were doing was that they were using his celebrity status and his name to acquire luxury items. And then, they say, we pay you later. And then they would later pay with worthless or fraudulent wire transfers. So basically, another, I basically, that's the gist, y'all. Okay. He, instead of it being money, well, I guess in a sense it was both money and items because, um, and I'll get into this a little later, but if he's doing the fraudulent wire transfers, then they're kind of stealing money too. Overall, it totaled about $1 million in items stolen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your take. Your take.
My take is I think that this is just a sad situation altogether, as a fellow Jamaican.
Oh, girl, I know. He just
His
messing
mom
with Crooked Islands.
is Jamaican. I think they were arrested. I think they have a house here in Fort Lauderdale, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So, like it's real close.
Wow. Kerrina, I thought Atlanta was, but a lot of these stories are coming out of Florida.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying?
With that.
We're high up there on the fraud, which is why we have these conversations every couple of weeks so y'all know what's going on and you don't get got. So
Oh
like
so
it is home, and then love Sean Kingston, like the music and all of those things. But I think, and it's just sad all around because it wasn't just him doing it, it was him and his mom. Like, so there's 2 generations here that are now going to prison. I don't believe that Sean Kingston had any children. I don't recall seeing that in any of the articles or anything. And maybe he does. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. So like both of them are now going to be in prison for years for fraud. Like their lives are going to be impacted. His mom got 5 years and he's getting 3.5 years. Like,
well, y'all know, if you know me, I'm very opinionated. So, mother, how dare you put your son, you know what I'm saying?
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Ma'am, how? You know what I mean? So there's that. And then the thing of it is, according to an NBC article, his mom was in prison at the time of his rise to fame. So well, I don't want to, I can't I don't know. I can't judge and say, oh, so she's a career criminal because there's 2 times. I don't know if it's 2 times, but she wasn't, they're reporting that she was in prison at the time of his rise to fame. So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So I am led to believe that you pulled him into this.
Mm.
You thought this was a good idea. This is an opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
And while I'm giving out these opinions, Kerrina and I will give these are our opinions.
The disclaimer.
Okay. That's it. Disclaimer. These are our opinions, and we're saying what we think based on the limited knowledge that we have. But yeah, I really feel like as his mother, you've been in this situation before.
Mhm.
Did
Yeah.
you just drag your son into, I mean, come on, that's 3 years. 3.5?
3.5. Like
Ooh. And she's in for 5.
prison.
And they wanted to give him 5.
Like, that's so sad. That's
They
so
wanted
sad.
to give him 5. So overall, let's see, they got 480K in
Mhm.
jewelry, 200K from Bank of America,
Mhm.
160K from an Escalade dealer,
Mhm.
100K from First Republic Bank, and 86K from a customized bed manufacturer. Now, what kind of bed? I need to sleep a little bit. I need to sleep in this bed.
For sure.
86K. I need to try this bed out.
Fancy
Why do
sweet.
I not? I need to research this bed or these beds. Maybe not a little bit, but I need this.
Nancy. That's
Why
crazy.
don't I have this bed?
What it's so crazy because like I'm like looking at the article and it's literally saying like that they reached out. It says Kingston used his social media to reach out to these luxury like merchandisers to say basically after negotiating deals, Kingston would invite the sellers to one of his high-end Florida homes to promise to feature them and their products on social media. So it's like, hey, give me your product. I'm going to showcase them on my social media so other people can, you know what I'm saying, see, hey, I have this bulletproof Escalade. Come on down and get an Escalade, go to Cadillac, you know, that kind of thing. And that's, you know, basically like the social media of the day, the influence, you know, that kind of a thing. Like the problem is that they negotiated terms, and instead of Sean Kingston paying them for their items, he was using the wire funds. Him and his team were using fake wires to say, hey, we sent you the money to this wire information, and they're expecting the money, and they never got the money because there was no money to give.
And then they kept the items.
And then they kept the items. Yeah. And then how I was thinking that this could have went, because if he didn't have the money, right? You know, like if you know that you didn't have the money or you couldn't do it, you could just do it like any other influencer, what's the word?
Just use the items and then give them back.
You can use the items and give them back, or they give you the items, right? They give you the items, and well, they typically they'll 1099 you for them, so that won't necessarily be the option either. But you could have just gave it back, or they 1099 you at the end of the year, and you get paid in the item because you're advertising for them, and then you get a small percentage, like some type of affiliate thing.
That's a thought.
Using, you know what I'm saying? He could have done it in that manner, but maybe that wasn't the thought. I don't know. But yeah, because they could have paid them for advertising by gifting them the items. Well, it wouldn't be a gift. It's actually payment for advertising.
And well, and then here's when I initially heard the story, my thought was, okay, it's Sean Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, he's not popping like that. He's not being played on the radio or whatever. So maybe the income isn't flowing like it was when he was popping, right? And then maybe there wasn't proper planning, financial planning. Most times there isn't, you know what I mean? And so I thought, oh, they just needed money. So there was, and I don't, I have more empathy for the Robin Hood types. Sorry, I do. Meaning you were trying to eat. You were trying to stay afloat. Now, okay, not you were trying to keep your $15 million mansion afloat. Maybe you sell it and then you buy something small,
Yeah.
smaller that you can kind of navigate, or you just kind of you pivot as necessary.
Right.
That's something. So initially when I heard the story, I was like, wow, maybe he's trying to just keep himself afloat. But that's not it. You're not necessarily trying to keep yourself afloat. You're trying to keep your image and lifestyle afloat, because you're going for jewelry. You're going for an Escalade. My brother, do you really? I mean, come on. I mean, we all know the music's not, you're not people with common sense. You know what I mean? People, we that our expectation is not for you to still be doing some of the things that you were doing when you were popping. And as a matter of fact, you shouldn't even care about our expectations, honey. You should care about what you got going on. Your business. Is this working for you? And so when I found out, it was, again, it's always always, there must be a psychological connection between, I don't know.
Well, between what now?
Think about it. Every story we tell, all of these stories, extravagance, luxury was involved, greed,
right?
That's this luxury, extravagance, greed. And so we're basically talking about greed.
Yeah. Oh, at the core, greed. I would go as far as maybe insecurity.
Good one.
Insecurity in their own lifestyle, or trying to keeping up with the Joneses or whatever, right? Like, you got to understand, when Sean Kingston was big, he was big. He had beautiful girls. He had I'm trying to think. We can go to all the, like, he had multiple like songs that were top charts back in the day, right? And now he's not performing as he used to, but there's still a level of expectation, because like, especially singers and stuff and musicians, entertainers, we're like, we as consumers would be like, oh, what happened to so and so? What happened to such and such? Oh, like, as people were, oh, they fell off. Oh, this, whatever, and people are taking that into consideration, especially him. So I feel like I have to get a bulletproof Escalade. I have to get these flashy.
Wait a minute, you keep saying, was this Escalade?
It was bulletproof. Like, this is a quote.
You were joking.
This is a quote.
Let me get this straight. The Escalade was bulletproof.
The Escalade was
Who in the world is coming for you like that?
Bulletproof.
My brother, did you think somebody was gonna like? Are you doing things that
get a little creepy?
Like, like, what you doing? What did your life like?
You know what? Yeah. We in South Florida. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Oh, okay. Well,
anything can happen.
I thought you were joking.
No, it's
a bulletproof Escalade.
Yes, quote. Yeah, like, I keep saying it because it's like,
who is looking for you?
So yeah, like, all of those things are happening. Like, so there's a level of insecurity of, I'm not where I used to be financially. And to prove that, in the AP article, his Sean Kingston's attorney says that Kingston had almost no knowledge of his finances, relying on his business managers and his mother.
That's why I'm going to say she's responsible for this.
And then he also said, this is the attorney again. I mean, also attorneys are attorneys, so they're going to say what, but I mean, I do believe a level of it, and he also says, the attorney, no one showed him how to invest his money. And then money went in and money went out on superficial things. And then Kingston has already started paying back his victims and intends to pay back every cent once he is free and can start working again. And I believe this is one of the reasons why the judge was lenient on his sentence, because it seems that he is a lot more remorseful.
Yeah, they did say that.
Yeah,
That he
that
paid a
he's
significant portion back.
right, that he's already started. So at the very least, he did something wrong, but there's something there that he's like, all right, you know what? I did this. Let me go ahead and start paying these people back.
I am actually, I'm devil's advocate. I'm actually leaning to believe that his mother may have started my little
It could be.
brain, but
It could
that
be.
his mother may have started this. And once she starts it, little boys and they mamas.
Yeah, that's true.
Once she starts it or started it, that initially maybe he was taken aback, or maybe he was, maybe
Yeah.
she convinced him of, you know what I mean? But after a while, once it's done, as a son, most children, they're not going to push back.
Mhm.
Especially this is his mother, and you know how boys are with their mom. They're not, the likelihood that he was going to push back, low.
Yeah.
To her, this was probably a walk in the park on a good Sunday. You know what
Yeah,
I
just
mean?
another lick. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? To say the least, it could be. It could be that.
It could be that, because uh, I think he's right. Most of these artists, I mean, come on, who they don't, you're not taught financial management. Heck,
Mhm.
we every day we're learning something new. Let's just keep it
We're in
100.
the
Every day
field.
it's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We're in the field.
wait
Like,
a
this is
minute,
our
you know what I mean?
visit to the street. So like
you know and so you adjust and you're pivoting as you mature and you get older. They got huge lump sums of money in one shot. It's like to go from absolutely nothing to something. um you
yeah,
know
yeah.
how do you can't, the ability to, the maturity level that it would take to slow the train down, right? Meaning, I started off like, this is what I say to some business owners:
Okay.
careful. Make sure you have the foundation in place, because you could start off and think, oh, okay, I'm just starting my business. Next thing you know, you explode. And we've been taught this, in our courses, you explode. And now
Yeah.
you're not ready for the level of growth, even with your mindset. It takes a very high level of maturity to say, whoa, slow this train down, because
Mhm.
we've got to get some ducks in order before we continue down this track.
Right.
Let's, let's start putting some guardrails in place. This needs to happen. That needs to happen. I understand that we're, you know what I'm saying, we need to start playing. It takes a high level of maturity. And I'm sure, well, it's clear that
Yeah.
didn't happen in his case. So,
Right.
um,
And then while you're up, you got to do things to maintain, because there's always going to be a business is a roller coaster. There are good days, there are down days, there are good years, there are down, like there are good months, there are down months, like every time. So instead of like doing this feast or famine, right? When you're in your feast, you start to put up, you start to invest, and like his attorney was saying, like he wasn't investing, so that
uh-huh.
that can sustain you when you have your low times, so
Yeah.
um you're not freaking out, and your lifestyle may not change if your feast was enough, or you have a conversation of like, I need to step back, maybe instead of getting the whatever $1,000 bed, you know what I'm saying, like let me get a regular mattress.
Girl, instead of getting the bulletproof Escalade, I'm just trying to, the bed I can understand. Like, I ain't even gonna, I
Yeah.
ain't gonna hold him on the bed. The Escalade,
Yeah, the Escalade.
I can't get with the Escalade.
Was a 19-foot LED TV. Maybe you get something smaller, you like downsize, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. It doesn't matter what the outside people think. They don't care about you. Like, it's just what they do not care. They are not like allowing you to eat and sleep. Like their opinions, I mean, are not
But
allowing you to.
that leads back to what you said. Which that leads back to security,
Yeah,
insecurity. You know
insecurity.
what I mean? It takes a lot to become very grounded in yourself to where you can look around at people around you and be like, sweetie, I
I
could
gotta do
care
what I
less.
do.
I don't care
Right.
about your opinion. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care about your thoughts. As a matter of fact, why are you even in my vicinity orbiting around me? You know what I mean? It takes a lot to get to
Yeah.
that place. And, you know, he came from fame. So
Right.
then, you know, when you're in, you know, and it even happens with people who just, you know, are very high up in their positions. You're surrounded by yes men and yes people. You're
Right.
surrounded by people that encourage you to do extravagant things. Why? Because they're benefiting off of it,
Right. That's
right?
true.
They're benefiting off of it. They're benefiting off of you, you know, just throwing away your money. They're benefiting off of it. So they're not going to stop you. They're not going to question you. And so it takes a high, you know, it's like you said, insecurity.
Insecurity. That's what I would argue. It's a level of insecurity to me. I would think so. And what I thought was important, and we've talked about it in some other episodes, was not knowing your numbers, like you not knowing. So his
Mhm.
attorney said he did not know. Yes, he didn't know how to invest. That's a different like conversation. You know, get a financial planner, get a financial advisor. They can help
Mhm.
you with that, but still
Mhm.
be aware. Anyways, they said that the money was under his mom. Oh yeah, okay. He had almost no knowledge of his finances, relying on business managers and his mother. You can't do that. You can't do that. It has
Him,
to be no.
him, I'm gonna cut some slack.
You can't. You
But he's
can't.
a kid.
He is not.
Well,
The
he's
man
not a
is
kid now, but
35.
think about it. I mean, he's not a kid now, but he was a
Oh, it was
kid
before.
when he.
He was 17 or something like
So
that.
you turned over. You're a kid. You're just. And if nobody's
Mm,
teaching you,
I
yeah.
understand back then. We're not talking about back then. He got arrested in 2024. So 2024, that was last year. He's 35 now. That means that he was 34. A 34-year-old man.
Baby.
We're not talking about 17-year-old Sean
I know
Kingston.
some 60-year-olds who
That's
who still act like they 14. So
that is
I cut him
true.
some slack. For me personally, I'm
Okay,
gonna cut him a
you
little
go
slack.
ahead, but
You like
for
it is
me,
no excuse.
no. I'm saying we have to stop. Like we need to address this
Okay,
because
good
he
point.
let all of his finances be spoken for and relied on business managers and his mom.
Good point. Good point.
He, as a 35-year-old man, needs to be aware of his finances. Okay, at 17, maybe okay at 18,
Okay.
19, 20. You know what I'm saying? Now that
Good point.
that is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
That is
so
what I'm saying. That is who I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to 17-year-old Sean Kingston. I'm speaking to 34-year-old Sean Kingston
good point.
or 33-year-old Sean Kingston when in 2023 and 2024, yeah, April 2023 and 2024, that's when they were doing this.
Okay. Good point. Good point. And so then that is again the takeaway, you know, keep you it's always the
You have to be
same.
aware.
You have to keep your hands on the wheel. It's
You
your
have
money. You're ultimately responsible because you
yeah.
cannot point a finger and clearly
And
this
say, "Oh,
case,
my mom did it."
my
Mom's
mother
in
did
jail
it.
too for 5 years.
They put her in
It
jail
doesn't
too.
help you.
Exactly.
Business
So
managers, I'm not even hearing nothing about them. I'm sure they're off doing something else in somebody else's business.
that part. That
Like
part.
no one can mind your business more than you. Like you
And
have
I'm
like,
sure they
and
got paid.
that's what we said. Yeah, of course
Oh,
they
they
got
got
paid.
paid.
Of course they got
Most
paid.
definitely.
Of course they got paid. So like maybe he didn't know he didn't have any money, but that's the problem. That's one of the problems. That's one of the problems. I mean, yes, the fraud's bad, but also not
Mhm.
knowing that you have any money. Also like, not having enough money for the wires and saying that you have wires, and then when the people are calling you saying, "Hey, the wire didn't go through," nobody's answering the phone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't
Funds
never
aren't
think about
clearing. Yeah, it says funds never cleared. And victim contacted Kingston and Turner, the mom, repeatedly saying, "Hey, this money didn't come through." That's
oh,
what
well
AP
then
News is saying.
Well, then in that case, I cut him no slack because they reached out to you too. Oh, no, no, I take my slack back. Let me have that back.
They reached out.
Hand me my slack back.
That's what
No,
that's
absolutely
what
not.
like,
No, so they called you and you, oh, so he was in on it. Oh, sorry. Well,
that's what it says. It says Kingston, who
please
was
do
born in
my
Florida. Oh no, hold on, sorry. When the funds never cleared, victims often contacted Kingston and Turner repeatedly, but were either never paid or received money only after filing lawsuits or contacting law enforcement, authorities said. I'm reading what AP News says. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Well, then because I had that as a question in my notes. I was like, do you think he knew? That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Well,
They contacted them and just like, oh, you getting the law involved? Let me go ahead and make sure you get your money real quick. That's what happened. That's what that you translate that. That's what that says.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
insane.
They got repeated because like with wires, they usually take a little minute, especially depending on how much it is too,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Wires are one of the
mhm.
highest fraud things because people can get your information because they have all your bank account, the routing number, the like everything. And they just need to make sure, because once a wire goes through, there's not much you can do after the
Right.
fact, you know. So the bank usually asks, are you sure that this is the wire? Especially when it's a high amount. Sometimes they'll even call you to, whatever else. But when the um the Cadillac and the Escalades and all those people said, hey, my money didn't come through.
Cadillac.
You said that you sent the wire here, the wire receipt, but I didn't get the money in my bank. What's going on? And they either didn't answer, or once police and authorities were involved, they're like, oh, let me get your money real quick. So, but yeah,
Another
the one thing
this
that I'm giving slack about was the fact that he seems remorseful and he started paying the people back their money.
yeah.
So that part is good. And then what we can take away from, because there's always should be a lesson, right? What we can take away as people is number one, if you're not secure in yourself, get secure. Whatever you
Mm,
need to
it's
do,
a word. It's a
yeah,
whole word.
whatever you need to do to make yourself secure in yourself, with or without money. Because a lot of us think that money is the reason as to
Mm.
have a certain level of status. I've
Preach,
made X,
preach,
Y, and Z
huh?
money when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to be, or I think that I'm in that same place anymore. I'm no longer there. That you still have worth, even if you don't have this money.
Oh,
So
that's a
you
word.
don't even think about defrauding anyone else,
That's a word.
because that is not your money.
That's a word. That's a word. That's a word. Becoming secure and stable. And but and then a lot of times, with greed,
Yeah.
ego plays a great part because they can't even see past
Yeah.
the
Yes.
ego. It's
That's
I'm this, that, and the other. So I'm supposed, I'm this. They can't
oh,
see past it.
that's true.
I think ego blinds. And then in conjunction with greed, maybe they go together. Maybe like
Yeah.
hand in glove, right hand, left hand. You know
Go
what I
to-
mean? They go
Because
together.
why is somebody greedy? Like, and a lot of the times, especially in these situations, right? It's usually large, luxurious items. And when you have a large, luxurious item, it's a statement to the people
Mm,
around you to say, look, see, I have this
look
bulletproof
at me.
Cadillac.
Look at
Look,
me. Yeah.
see, I have this really huge TV. Come and look and come to my home. Look, see, I have this rose gold golf cart. That's back to the lady.
Your girl with the cart.
Yeah. So also in Florida
Okay.
and Atlanta.
I'm
But
telling you, y'all doing y'all thing.
like it's a status symbol.
Yeah.
And I want
Yeah.
other people to see how much money I have with these material things.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I would say they go hand in hand together, that greed and that ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be content in what you have. And if you aren't, do things legally to make sure that you get yourself back into whatever place you need to be.
Yeah, but that thought requires removal of the ego.
It
Because
does.
you have to accept within yourself, I've made a mistake, I've done something wrong, and it's time for me to they only get to that point when their egos have been shattered by being arrested, by being outed, the mask has fallen off, now everybody can see your true colors, and
Right.
now you and so and even then, you are not sorry. You're only
Sorry
embarrassed.
you got caught. Yeah, there it
You're
is.
only embarrassed. I don't even think they sorry they got caught, because half
Mm.
the time they get out and do it again. They're
Do it again.
embarrassed.
Yeah,
That's
like that
what
one
it's
guy
for.
we were doing the thing on. The CPA that
Yeah,
lost his thing in
exactly.
Washington and got it back.
He was just
So
he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got caught, and let me try it again this way.
try
Let
it
me
again
try it again
in
this way."
Connecticut. Yeah. So
Okay?
yeah.
So, yeah. So, you guys, that is our time. I wanna, again, the takeaway is keep your hands on the wheel of your, finances. You need to know what's happening in your house. Kerrina added another great point to me, which was, we might need all do a little work, a little self-esteem work, because it's a self-esteem thing that gets you feeling like you should have access to something that you've not earned.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean? Like, or that you have to flex so that other people can see you as worthy, or so that you can you're trying to fill a hole
Right.
that you're honestly not going to be able to fill, not with things anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation. So, Kerrina and I are here every other Friday. And like we like to say, we can bat this back and forth for a while. But if you guys are having any issues, you're receiving any notices, or you need help with your taxes, or you're looking to for a new tax preparer you'd like to file with in the upcoming season, feel free to reach out to either of us. Our social media pages are listed here. If you have any questions or you've got any commentary you'd like to add, please go ahead and add the commentary. And again, you can join us if you've got a story that you think we should talk about. You want to hear our good opinions? We will gladly dissect it. Anything, Kerrina?
No, that's it. So you
Okay.
guys, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.